Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a demo of our brand new Zinio integration and kind of like going over the features that are included. I had some problems with my PowerPoint this morning, so we have to set it up as a preview, like a slide deck. So if it looks a little wonky, I do apologize. I'm not really sure what's going on, but we're going to go ahead and get through this with preview. So just a couple of housekeeping notes. I keep everybody on silent through the webinar just so that there's no like accidental like awkward conversations, like you're planning out your lunch and what you're going to eat, and pops up and everybody gets to hear and be jealous about going to Panera or wherever you're going. Um, Also, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to shoot them into the chat box in the little sidebar that you have available. And also, if you have any problems with like you can't hear me or anything, just let me know there as well, and I can go ahead and I'll keep an eye on that as well. So yeah, today is Zinio. Let's go ahead and skip to our overview. So we're going to look at who's recorded books and what's this Zinio thing. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of what Zinio is, but there's quite possible that maybe it just hasn't really gotten around into your area yet. We'll also kind of look at what the current Zinio integration looks like, how like that flow or lack of flow for checking out eMagazines as for your library, and then we'll also take a look at our brand new Zinio, our brand new Boopsie Zinio integration as well. So, what is recorded books and what's the Zinio thing? So, as you can see, I kind of like gave a nice little overview of like what recorded books is. Basically, they really have a focus on unabridged audiobooks and then also digital media that's for the libraries. So you've probably heard of them more for their one-click digital or transparent language services. They also have IndieFlix, and they also are as a Comics Plus Library Edition seller as well. So it's quite possible you've heard them around, you've seen them at conferences, really cool people. So that's just kind of an overview on who Recorded Books is. And so what about Zinio? Zinio has the largest selection of digital media or digital magazine content in the world. So there's two setups. So there's like kind of like Zinio where you can purchase subscriptions for your personal use, or there's also Zinio for libraries, which is libraries subscribe to the service and then they can offer their patrons free magazines through the either Zinio for Libraries app or this integration that we're going to show you in a little bit. So what's the current process for Zinio look like? I realize this is kind of small right now, which is, let me see, let me zoom in a little bit. All right, so I zoomed in a bit. Here, it kind of, I'm a patron of the Sunnyvale Public Library. I've used Zinio a couple of times. I enjoy the free magazines, but it can be a little difficult, especially like the current setup that we had right now. As you can see on the left-hand side, their website's now mobile responsive. So previously, like you'd have like 5 magazines across and then like 5 down as well. And you go through and you'd select and you'd have to pinch and zoom to actually zoom in on things. But here, like you can see Apple Magazine, Better Homes and Gardens, which is actually what I checked something out because I thought the little yarn ball things look really fun. I kind of want to know how to create them. So you just, as a patron, I'd just select the title that I wanted. I'd get into the collection. I'd say, this is what I want. There's this little checkout button right here at the bottom of the screen. There's a little bit more information below it as well. I was already logged in. I created my digital gateway account for Zinio, and then I logged myself in. Welcome, Caitlin. And then once I selected that checkout button, I got this pop-up that says success. You can keep browsing. Now they have the ability to start reading, which is in a viewer, like a browser kind of thing. And then you can also have it selected so that you can find out when the next issue is available. Since I like to read, I do a lot of like National Geographic kind of things. Like I like to be on top of like when the next alert is. I also like Weight Watchers too, but since it like comes out like once every 2 months, I kind of forget about it. So it's a good way to kind of keep me in the loop and say, oh yeah, there's this magazine. And you get an email like whenever the subscription's available, and then you can just go ahead and click and download right away. And then, so now they have a Zinio for Libraries app. Previously, you had to log into the Zinio app, but it was a little confusing because you had to like jump through hoops. But with for recorded books, like you just would go and log in, you click, you enter your credentials that you did for your library. And then once you're logged in, they have your bookshelf of available titles. Right now, I only have Better Homes and Gardens because I had to clean out my phone the other day. So basically, you just click the title, and then you'd be able to download it. And then, as you can see right here, it's a nice little reader. You might think that since, like, for instance, this is on my cell phone, so it's a little small, but actually, like, if you're going into the reader, you can actually pinch and zoom. So if there's anything that looks a little small or anything, you can, definitely like zoom in. You can click links so it pops, from one section to the other. It's a really cool integration, but it is just kind of like hard to keep up with, and it's kind of confusing unless you've either been walked through it, or if you're like me and just really tenacious and just like, I need to figure out how to do this. So that's the current Zinio process. So the new Zinio integration, I'm going to have to switch gears again. Let me escape out of this. We're going to pull up my QuickTime player. Let's start from the beginning of the video too. So this is going to be our Zinio integration. We have it live in the Auckland Council Libraries app. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. So I select the option. It loads the main menu. We're going to go ahead and click on Zinio eMagazines. In a second. So, they have their set up that way. And then here is a listing of all the available magazines for the Auckland Council Libraries. It is alphabetical, starting with the numbers first, and then it goes through the rest of the list. You can either browse this way, just if you're curious about what's out there. They have a lot of magazines, so it takes a little bit to kind of go through everything. And then you would just hit more and you continue down that page, or you can always do a search for it. I really like the BBC History magazine. I'm like a history buff, so it's like right up my alley. You click on the magazine. Here's this like details page. Hold on before it goes to the next section. I'm a little fast. As you can see, like it gives you like a little screenshot, like a little image of the cover of the magazine. It tells you what the title is, what the issue is, the description of what the magazine itself is, genre, language, platforms, that kind of stuff. And then right here is this view issue section. And so you're going to go ahead and you select that, which I did, which loads this Zinio reader. It's really useful, just like pretty much all the other, like if you're familiar with like the reader platforms, you would just, there's this little, it's kind of hard to see, but it's a little better on the phone itself. There's this little arrow. So you click the right edge to advance forward, click the left to advance back, not really advance at that point, but to go back previous pages. And then you just hit play. We'll go to the next page. Again, I'm just clicking that right side, just making sure that I can go in through. And then here is just kind of like the contents. I really like this section because if you really want to learn about Elizabeth I, who's the jealous queen, you would just like see how there's like this underlining. You can just click that hyperlink and you go straight to that section of the app. You don't have to like just keep flipping through. This magazine, I'd probably like read most of the articles, but there's some that I'm like, I just really only want to read it for this article. And so I would go through it and select which article I want to read. So in this case, I'm going to be, I'm going to advance ahead. We're going to go and check out that medieval immigrants, which is going to be on page 43. And then boom, you're taken to the page. It's really colorful. It's really pretty, large text, easy to read, not a problem. But then when you move to the next page, it's a little bit smaller, kind of hard to read, but you can pinch and zoom, which is kind of that normal activity that you're used to on your phone if you want to read articles, if you want it to be larger. This is on a tablet, so it's a little bit bigger and easier to read. On the phone, it's a little harder to keep it at its normal zoom, normal display, so the pinching and zooming is really useful. And go ahead and hit play, and just kind of like zooming back out. And then down here in this little left-hand corner is this like, I don't know what they call it, but it looks kind of like, I think of it like when you're doing notes, like the different subheadings kind of thing. If you click on that button, it's your settings section. And so there's this little 9-box section. If you click on that, it'll actually show you the pages that are available, and you can quickly hop to different pages as well. You can go ahead and, so it is in the 2 sections, so you'll always open the left-hand page first. So I did select an image, which is this personal politics in Elizabeth I court. which one's really cool. Again, just advancing with the left and right arrows. And then here is the article, which you can zoom in on. So it's really fun. It's a clean integration, super easy to use. Where am I going? Uh-oh, I closed down preview. So let me just open up preview again. 1 second. Oh no, it's not working. Okay, hold on. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole integration. Let me see if I can get preview to launch again. Or this slideshow. Okay, well, it's being a little finicky, so we're just gonna go ahead and close this and kind of zoom in a little bit. So at this point, we're just gonna go over our upcoming webinars. I have 2 scheduled for the month of December right now. So the first one's gonna be insights from Boopsie customers. That's gonna be kind of looking over usage trends and kind of those facts, how what we're finding in the apps. And then also we're going to have some guest customers attending as well, which would be really cool just to kind of hear what they're seeing with their app itself. And then on the 16th of December, we're going to have it's called Get Your Free Music and Movies in Your App. It's all about our streaming media services. So, Freegal and IndieFlix and Hoopla, really cool features that are included as well. So my next section is going to be just kind of how to get a hold of us. Of course, sales@boopsie.com. You can email me directly, katie@boopsie.com. Super cool like that. And then also, if you want to sign up for these upcoming webinars, you're going to go to www.boopsie.com/customer-webinars. And it'll have the available webinars up there on the top of the screen. The Freegal one is going to be a little bit before it shows up. Generally takes about 24 hours before it's updated, so that'll be up there soon. If you need to get a hold of me, my phone number is 650-241-3300, extension 9. And let me just quickly check and see if we have any questions. I know I kind of went through that really quickly, but of course, if you don't have a chance to give me any questions today, definitely go ahead. We'll send me an email and I can answer anything that you need to have answered. All right, so I did have one question, just trying to see, what the cost would be to add the Zinio integration. Right now, we are adding it for if it's included in part of your package, so Optimum Plus customers, if you have the space for an additional integration, we'll add that to your app at this time. If you aren't on Optimum Plus, we can definitely have a conversation about how we can add this to your app and kind of go from there. Anything else? Looks like that was our only question. Of course, I'm going to have this recording up on the website soon. I know I'm a little lax on my other ones, so I got to get those up there too. And if that is it, I'm going to let you all have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to talking to you individually. Have a great one, you guys.